Welcome to the Boise Binge. I'm your co-host, Braden.
And I'm Lexi.
And welcome to our first ever podcast / show type thing. We're not really sure what to call it. Anyway,
Welcome to our podcast.
welcome to our podcast. On this podcast, we are going to be featuring local brands, mainly centered around the entertainment category, beer, wine, liquor, clothing, restaurants, food, anything that is local around Boise or Idaho will be featuring on this podcast. If you have a brand and if you want us to show it on here to promote to our millions of followers, please send it to our email address right here, right there, or in the link in the description. After we feature the local brand, we will be going into some stories, different topic each week. This week, we're going to be talking about our neighbors and experiences there. And we're also going to pose a question for next week, which is, what is the best mainstream bar in downtown Boise? So any of the big Main Street bars or 8th Street bars are what we want to be talking about. So if you have a favorite one, comment it down below. We're going to be reviewing them next week and seeing which ones are our favorites, which ones the crowd favorites. And then we're going to be diving into the topic of our neighbors this week and the stories we've had, the experiences we've had, good and bad, and then just going on from there. So without further ado, I'm going to be introducing our first brand, which of course is beer. And
Without further ado.
what? This week's brand is Teton Brewing. I picked up their...
Here, let me do that.
Here you go.
Here, no. Right now we're doing, if you can see that.
And so what we'll be doing is having one of each, introducing their cans and giving our rating on them, if we would buy them again, and if we would suggest if you guys out there would like them. I'm personally not a beer connoisseur.
I would say I am.
If Lexi likes any of these beers, and you can bet that anyone out there would like them. So
You say you're not the connoisseur.
you're
not a connoisseur.
I'm not going to give in-depth reviews of, this is really cranberry, hoppy, maybe hoppy. I know hoppy.
Well, wine's more that way, bud.
Yeah, I know hoppy. I don't know.
All right.
What do we got first?
I don't know.
208.
I don't know if the camera can see, but we got a nice 208.
It is a session ale. 4.7 alcohol percentage.
100% Idaho ingredients, so you know it's good.
And by the way, these are from Teton is from Victor, Idaho. Here we go. So we're going to be trying the first one. If I can get it open.
I think we're wasting a lot of beer.
Oh, well. Okay, so we're trying the Teton beer.
Go.
All right.
I didn't let that sit in my mouth for a second.
Yeah, honestly, first it's a I don't
Goes
know.
down smooth.
Session ale. It's a lighter beer. I would drink this again. I'd give this out of 10. I'd give it a 6. How about you?
That's a light beer.
God.
No, it tastes good.
What was your rating out of 10 though?
9.
9. Starting off strong with a 9 here, ladies
I mean,
and
it's
gentlemen.
just a light drink. It's a little heavier than a Coors Light. Like, ooh, I'm feeling fancy. One step above Coors Light or a Miller Light. So,
9.
9.
For our second beer, we'll be having the Grand Teton Amber Ale. I'm a decent fan of ambers. Lexi is giving you a real in-close shot. Great artwork here. A red can, some mountains. Which mountains? I don't know what those are, but
Probably the Grand Tetons. Weird. Surprise, surprise, everybody.
oh my god, that makes sense. Okay, Amber Ale. Let's see here. I don't know what percent. 4.7 again. Okay, let's try her out.
Across the board. 4.7 across the board.
I don't mind that either. It's kind of lighter amber, I feel like. What do you think? Are you a fan?
Not.
No? Okay.
It is lighter. When I think of an amber,
Yeah.
I think of something aggressive and gross. This is a mild gross.
Mild gross.
No, it's good. It's good. It's good.
I think it's I'd probably give that. I don't think it's as good as the 208. I wouldn't. You can drink more of the 208s, but Grand Teton Amber, I give it a 5. How about you?
I would give it a 6.
Okay, 6. So we took a big hit from the 208, but solid beer overall. Let's dig into the next one.
We will take applications for somebody who will finish the rest of our beers.
It'll be me. All right, here our next one is the. Lexi, go ahead and show them the can.
Sweetgrass,
Sweetgrass
pale
ale.
That sounds nice. I'll have 2.
Sweetgrass pale ale, 6% alcohol.
6%. We're gone up from a 4.7.
Getting really ready to go.
Mama's getting lit. I have a good feeling about this one.
Yeah,
I do.
I've never heard of Sweetgrass pale ale.
I like the color.
Got a lot of variety out there in Victor, Idaho, huh? Let's try it out.
Didn't like the smell, but I liked the taste and the way it went down.
That's a good pale ale.
Preference 208 still, but this one,
It's a lighter, not as hoppy as like some of those pale ales.
oh, I was gonna say it is hoppy. That's
I'm a
why I
beer
like
connoisseur.
the 208 more. This one's a little bit more hoppy. Although a pale ale, do you expect hoppiness?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's good then.
Don't
We
you?
got what we wanted.
Let me give them a little shot here.
do the background like, the shade is.
I don't even know what that means. It's
You're not a girl, so that's.
It's the Teton
makes me
Range
happy you don't know what that
IPA.
is. This one seems. I'm weirdly nervous. I don't know why.
Yeah. I've been on the IPA. It's been growing on me for the last few years, but let's see what we got here. Yeah, you gonna cheers me?
No, I'm gonna have a sip of yours afterwards.
Okay. Do it, Lexi.
I just spit it out. That's
Hoppier.
very hoppy.
Yeah.
For somebody who likes a IPA, I would
Yeah.
say this is a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Not my thing.
Oh, we didn't rank the last one. Last
we
one.
did.
Oh, did we? The Grand
No, we
Teton?
didn't. Grand Teton, I would rank I would do a 9.5. I
my
really
God.
like this. I like the can. I like the color. And it gives me what I can have a beer and feel relaxed, not have more than one, and it tastes good.
Grand Teton, if you're listening, Lexi is your biggest sponsor. She has 2 beers in the 9s here already from your four selection here. So, pretty good. Pretty good.
I'll be a sponsor.
Sweetgrass Ale, I would give a 6.
Oh, you've been low across the board.
I'm being honest
Grand
here.
Teton, not Braden's favorite.
No, it's not bad. I'm a strict rater. When you get a 6 out of me, it's like a 10 for some people. Like you. Teton Range, I'm going to go with a 5. And I go with a 5 because I don't think you can drink. You can have maybe 2 of these. I could personally have only 2 of these. I'm like, I got to get out of here.
I gotta get out of here!
Got to switch off this. This is
Otherwise, he'll throw up.
otherwise I'll throw up.
Seen it
But
happen.
208, my king of the night, 208. Not only does it represent Idaho, and I love that because I'm a great Idahoan.
Born and raised.
But these are ones that you can sit back at your local dive bar and have a few of and enjoy your night. 208, thank you. Grand Teton, thank you.
This was a 6. This was a 6. So how is that one like a top 1 when they're all 6s?
No, I kind of viewed them for different reasons. This is like a high 6. I should do point scales. Going forward, ladies and gentlemen,
you
you'll get a
should-
point scale out of me.
you
6.9 right here.
Or maybe it's an 8. The rest are
No,
6s.
it's a 6.9. Meow, 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 meow. All right, so without further ado, I'm gonna give Lexi the reins here, and she'll introduce our next topic that I said it earlier.
So as we mentioned earlier, we are going to speak about our neighbors. We've had many neighbor experiences, good, bad,
Ugly.
interesting, I would say. A little background. I lived alone for a few years when I moved back to Boise after college. And now I live with B Corpa 1865. And we've had our fair share of neighbor experiences living here. And I had my own fair share of neighbor experiences when I lived on my own. I'm sure everyone has their own interesting neighbor experiences. And so that's why we feel it is a topic that everyone can relate to.
Yeah. Let's start with, I think you got to start with the older neighbors, the ones you were at before here. The good, the bad,
The naked.
the naked. Nice.
The good, the bad, the naked.
All right. Let's start out with
The naked.
the naked.
I had a neighbor across the street from me. I lived in Southeast Boise in a up and coming neighborhood. Yes. Quotes needed. And one fine day, I was taking my dog Coco on a walk to the dog park near the street I lived on. And what do I come across? A 60?
60. Yeah. That's a good age range.
In
Yeah.
a 60 age range man drinking a nice Merlot, sniffing it, loving it, has a big wine sign in his backyard. And when I say backyard, I mean the street, because...
Well, yeah, he had his half his kitchen was also on the backyard, right?
Yes.
It was just like a tarp pulled over tree and his pots and pans lined up on some
He
bookshelves.
lived in probably like a 1-bedroom house, so he needed...
It was definitely a 1-bedroom house.
And he's
It was probably a 1-room house.
studio apartment.
Studio house.
In a house. He seemed like quite the chef, though, because he would make lamb all the time. And big wine fanatic. So, yes, he needed a bigger kitchen. So,
yeah.
He did it outside. But he also did a lot of other activities outside, which is how I came across him, which was kiddie pool, him, a glass of wine, and whitey tighties. Filled kiddie pool with whitey tighties on. And let's just say, since the kiddie pool was half filled, I got to see just enough that I don't want to see. It was shocking. I was new to the neighborhood. I saw that. I was very concerned. I called my parents thinking I had a pervert across the street from me. And I didn't know what to do. I had just bought this house. I wanted to be an adult, but I wanted to run home as soon as I saw Underwear Man's manhood. No, he was actually one of the nicer neighbors that I had in Shantyville. He was much better than my next door neighbors, who I now refer to as the chicken people, who, when I moved in, had all the perfect things for a neighbor. They were quiet. They did not want to interact. They seemed to keep to themselves. I thought they wanted to keep to themselves until one morning at 5 a.m., their illegal chickens started. When you wake up at 5 a.m. in a fit of rage from waking up to that noise, I almost did that again, that you don't care how many there are, all you care about is why the hell are their chickens screaming at 5 a.m. in the middle of close to downtown Boise.
Chickens.
It was the wild, wild west in that neighborhood. I don't think it was them. They seemed to keep their chickens on lock. What they didn't keep their shit on lock was their children. That was the other part that rudely awakened me. I had a pretty large backyard. I had to irrigate, so I had a ditch in my backyard and a big fence that had a hole so the water, could go out it. And one time I came out to my dog Coco barking and 5-year-olds running around in my yard parentless. But that wasn't the worst of it, that they let their children run rampant in my yard. They would put their children's excrements into my yard by way of dirty diaper.
Oh my God. I didn't think you had the diaper on there. I was like, oh my God. Poop.
Basically, when you come home and you find your dog tearing into a diaper.
Yeah. Coco? Sorry about that.
She's been traumatized.
God, I can't even say this without laughing to myself. Comment if you have any neighbor stories. And also, don't forget the original question is the best mainstream bar downtown in Boise. So leave those 2 comments. We'll be talking about the bars next weekend, what we think's our favorite bars, what we think you guys' favorite bars is, and going from there. And so thank you for watching our
Thanks for tuning in.
first episode.
Like,
And
comment.
we don't have any social medias up yet. We will. And we will link those if anyone in the world cares. We'll link those, but thanks for watching, and we will see you next week.
Bye-bye. I hate that I do finger